This week on GamePron News, Blizzard takes the wraps off of the 4th World of Warcraft expansion as part of festivities at its 6th BlizzCon event in California. Expect to see plenty more pandas running around as the game explores the oft-rumoured mists of Pandaria. There were also a few tidbits about StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, Blizzard Dota, and the very intriguing World of Warcraft annual pass. In other news, Sony reveals dates and prices for the PlayStation Vita. The Australian video games industry watches one door close as another opens. Mojang wins a temporary injunction in its Scrolls court case. Grand Theft Auto 3 celebrates a major birthday, and Assassin's Creed fans learn that all good things come in threes. Hi, I'm Jessica Citizen. This week, all eyes were on Anaheim, California, where Blizzard held its 6th gathering of fans, BlizzCon 2011. We'd been expecting big things from the event, and it didn't take long for our suspicions to be proven right. The star of the show was undoubtedly World of Warcraft, which will officially be receiving a 4th expansion set sometime in the future, with the unveiling of the oft-rumours Mist of Pandaria.
Soon, we will face a new chapter. An adventure unlike any we've known thus far. A mystery shrouded by superstition. A land of forgotten power and ancient magics. And a people that may well change the fate of us all.
While many gamers around the world are protesting the inclusion of the cuddly fuzzy Pandaren, which have actually been part of the Warcraft universe for years, their inclusion is groundbreaking for a number of reasons. This is the first non-faction specific race in World of Warcraft. When you first roll your character and start your adventure on the back of a giant turtle, you are not tied to either Alliance or Horde and can proceed through the early stages getting to know the Pandaren way of life. By the time you're ready to move into the rest of the world, you are able to make your decision, pick a side, and proceed. The Pandaren also introduce a new playable class, the Monk, which is an option for all WoW races except for Cataclysm's Goblins and Worgen, who didn't really suit the mythos. In addition to all of this, the level cap has been bumped up to 90, there's a handful of new zones, scenarios and dungeon modes, and in what could be mistaken as a throwback to Pokemon, your collectible pets can now battle each other. There's no release window for this one yet, of course, but it was playable on the BlizzCon show floor, and early reports suggest it's pretty shiny. Also at BlizzCon, we got another look at StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm, which focuses on the amazing Sarah Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades. The game is still progressing nicely, even though the art team are apparently experiencing some hiccups, moving from the all-grey designs of the Terran in Wings of Liberty to the somewhat more fluid and colourful Zerg this time around. You'll have to forgive the StarCraft developers if they seem a little distracted. It seems that Blizzard Dota is sucking up a lot of their time recently. It's been completely rewritten since we saw it at last year's con, and from all reports, the changes are for the better. Unfortunately for those of us who are dying to pit Nova against Arthas, Thrall, the Queen of Blades, Zeratul or Sylvanas, to name a few, the only thing we've heard about a release for this one is that it is coming soon. Seriously. And the final bit of BlizzCon news is one of the most exciting. It seems that Blizzard were a little concerned that the upcoming release of Diablo 3 would leech players from the World of Warcraft fanbase. Rather than making gamers choose between two of the company's great RPGs, President Mike Morhaime revealed that people can in fact choose both, using the company's new annual pass system. By signing up to the annual pass, which is a 12-month commitment to the game billed monthly, you will receive a free digital edition of Diablo 3 sent to your Battle.net account on launch date. That is the full game, not a demo or a trial. You'll also get an exclusive flying mount for WoW, Tyrell's Charger, and guaranteed access to the next WoW expansion beta test sometime in the future. But that's enough about BlizzCon. Some other stuff happened this week too. While we're being swamped by games and projects without set release dates, Sony has bucked the trend, announcing that the PlayStation Vita will be launching in Western territories early next year, confirming that North America, Europe, Africa, the Middle East, Australia and New Zealand will be getting their dual-touch gaming on from February 22nd. Pricing was always going to be a drama, and the figures from Sony aren't really a pleasant surprise. Australians will be paying considerably more than their North American counterparts. The 3G model in the US is around $300, but Aussies are expected to hand over the equivalent of $450 for exactly the same hardware. The Vita is also asking more than twice as much as the current PSP model and $200 more than the Nintendo 3DS. News like this reinforces that perhaps Australia isn't such a great place for gamers, as the troubled local video game development industry also cops another blow. Amid swirling rumours of job cuts at 2K Canberra, hard at work on XCOM, KMM has confirmed that it is closing its Brisbane studio less than 1 year after it opened its doors. The studio's primary project, Happy Feet 2, has been completed, and apparently there was no more work to follow it up. At the same time, however, Fruit Ninja developer Halfbrick has bucked that trend and opened a second Australian studio, expanding on the 50-plus employees it currently has stationed in Brisbane. It's not been revealed just yet what the studio is working on, but there can't be too many more platforms that haven't been graced by Fruit Ninja, so we're hoping it's something new. There's some more good news from Minecraft developer Mojang, with a Swedish court granting a temporary injunction in its court battle with Bethesda. The short version of the story means that Notch and friends can continue to use the name Scrolls for their upcoming card game, with the court stating it does not seem to infringe on Bethesda's Elder Scrolls trademark. Bethesda and parent company ZeniMax have 3 weeks in which to appeal the injunction, a time period which includes the upcoming launch of Skyrim, also known as the Elder Scrolls V. Rockstar Games made gamers around the world feel very, very old this week with the news that Grand Theft Auto 3 was celebrating its 10th anniversary. The game first shipped back in October 2001 and opened the doors to the open-world sandbox 3D game style, which is seemingly everywhere these days. If you'd like to take a bit of a cruise down memory lane, GTA 3 is currently being polished up for an anniversary relaunch on smartphones, so you can slip a little old-school excitement into your pocket. And to wrap things up this week, it's been a big one for Ezio Auditore and the Assassin's Creed franchise. First, we heard that the ink was nearly dry on a multi-movie deal with Sony Pictures, with the game joining Infamous and Uncharted on the list of upcoming video game adaptations. Then, a top-down Assassin's Creed title showed up on the Canadian App Store. Assassin's Creed Rearmed is exclusively designed for iOS devices, but hasn't been seen outside the land of maple syrup. And the third good thing, after a believe it or not rumour circulated early in the week, it's now been confirmed. Ezio is a playable guest character in Soul Calibur 5. He has his assassination tools literally at his fingertips, and gamers around the world are intrigued to see just how this master assassin will hold up against his modern-day Soul Calibur opponents, including Dampierre if you pre-order the game. Details on the special edition of Soul Calibur 5 were also revealed, including an art book, soundtrack CD, making of DVD, extra armour sets, original artwork, and a letter signed by the development team. Don't get too excited though, this one's not due out until February 2nd. Till next week, I'm Jessica Citizen, and this is GamePron News.